Welcome at the Things Conference with another guest. Who are you and what do you do?
My name is Job Nijenhuis. I'm part of the development team for Dimo Systems, where we produce the one and only LoRa connected mousetrap.
The mousetrap. We heard a lot about it, and finally we have it here on the table.
Yes,
So, what are we looking at?
It's pretty simple, actually. It literally is a LoRa connected mousetrap, which we currently sell for the B2C market. B2B market. What we do is, you can imagine that for rodent control, for pest control, there is a lot of manual labor involved. And with this mousetrap, instead of constantly having to check the traps by hand, you can just sit behind your computer and in real time watch mouses being trapped, and that saves a lot of manual labor.
So, I would say it's not really hard to make this kind of a mousetrap. Was it difficult?
Yes, you can imagine that we are one of the first huge scale LoRa devices. I think we were the first people that uploaded, I think, 2,000 or 3,000 devices to the TTN network. And when I spoke to the guys from TTN last year, they were like, "What did you do?" No wonder that the portal has become like unusually slow for you. And so I think we were the ones that said, okay, maybe we should introduce paging. And so with the entire ecosystem, we see that we're constantly figuring stuff out, and I think that was the most what we learned the most about, and what everyone learned the most about, because it's such a relatively early stage in the LoRa environment that I think that was the most difficult part, just learning everything and just seeing everything evolve.
Right, and just realizing that the manufacturing of the device itself was not the hardest part, but just managing all the data and the connections and everything.
Yeah, the things you don't think about at first. So I think, okay, we have this trap now and it works, and then we sell it, and then the actual challenges come.
So is this the only product you sell? Is this
currently, yes.
And are you developing?
We have a red trap as well, but it's pest control for now.
And are you going to expand? Are you developing new kind of things, or is it really pest control is the focus of?
For now, we want to make sure that this product is as perfect as it should be, and then when we've learned everything, or not everything, but when we've learned everything, we will start expanding, of course.
The reason I ask this is that sometimes you see that companies start with a product and they learn a lot from it. And as you said, you were like a very heavy user on the TTN network, even to their surprise. And sometimes then you start tinkering and creating solutions. Sometimes this solution becomes a product that others can use as well. Is that something that you thought about?
Yes, of course, what we're constantly thinking about. But as I said, we first want to make the best version of the mousetraps and the red traps, because we know there's a lot of people asking for it. And from then on, we will start expanding to maybe more traps, maybe different solutions.
So we're at the conference. There's a lot of other companies and solutions. Did you see anything interesting here?
It's about the mousetrap again. What I really enjoy about a conference like this is that wherever you go, if you introduce yourself as the mousetrap guy, everyone knows what product you're talking about. So that's really cool that something you've put so much time and effort in reflects back in pretty much everyone either using it as an example or knowing it or having it at the stand even. And I really like the environment here at the Things Conference with all the developers and all the workshops and everything is going on. It's pretty different to other conferences where it's mainly salespeople and people talking to each other and trying to sell them stuff. But this conference really feels like a community, which I really appreciate.
obviously all these developers are talking about things that are going great, but also things they miss and what they need more from the LoRa Alliance or from the LoRa One technology, etc. So what is holding you back? What do you need more from a technology point of view?
From a technology point of view, I don't think there's too much holding us back other than what I already said about, the entire ecosystem being developed rather than being completely stabilized and without any fluctuations. So I think the main part that's, I wouldn't say holding us back per se, but the main part that's still always a little bit of a struggle is this constant development and this constant everyone finding themselves out still. So
two things that were mentioned quite often these days were location, geolocation, and over-the-air updates. Are those two things that you are working on as well? Is that something that applies to you?
We're working on the next version of the trap, which will be featuring the LoRa 1.1 standard. So we'll have support for the over-the-air updates and this multicasting and all these other fancy features. We do see some possible problems. Like in the best case, theoretically, the over-the-air updates will be amazing, of course, but there's a lot of things to take into account when you're updating such low-level parts of your device that you should really, really be careful about, because you can so easily brick your entire device and then end up with millions of traps suddenly becoming dumb traps. So,
and then you're fucked, yeah.
And then, and then you have to visit all these different locations and just manually update them, and that's pretty bad.
And about Geo?
Geo, that would be really, really awesome if that works. For now, we just put down the traps and mark the location on an app or on the website. But as soon as geolocation works reliably enough to locate that specific mousetrap, of course, that would be awesome for us.
So in a new version, we will see that eventually happening as well.
Yep.
All right.
It's very much like that.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. This was another episode of interviews from the Things Conference. There are many more at the YouTube channel, so watch them all.